Hey guys, how's it going? So today we're actually going to be doing another custom LEGO minifigure review, this time covering 3 pad printed minifigures from Lab9. And we've got their Captain Marvel, Shazam, and Miss Marvel, all of which, like I said, are pad printed just like official LEGO, plus they have these pretty fantastic custom molded pieces to really make for some of the highest quality minifigures I think you'll find in this community. However, they are collector's items. A limited quantity of each is produced, and once they go up, they're often gone and sold out within like 30 minutes. Now that demand is honestly more of just like a testament to their consistent quality, because even though they are certainly not cheap, they always sell out like that. Thankfully though, I managed to pick up their Captain Marvel back in March, but sometime after that when they released Shazam and Miss Marvel here, those two did sell out really quick, but they were kind enough to hook me up with a private order so I could still buy them that way, and huge thanks to Lab9 for that. But even though these minifigures geared toward hardcore collectors are, in this case, not only sold out, but also incredibly niche, I still thought it would be really cool to take a super quick break from the endgame customs to review them anyway, because like I said, they are pretty amazing. But with all that said, let's get started. Shazam! So their Zachary Levi Shazam has got to be my favorite custom minifigure from them for obvious reasons. This minifigure is about as good as it's going to get for a pad printed Zachary Levi Shazam minifigure from the movie, and the custom hairpiece and the custom cape just really top it off as being, I think, probably the best one this community will ever see. And so to get started, if we go ahead and remove this custom hairpiece, you can see it's just really awesome, matching the exact same hairstyle of Zachary Levi Shazam from the movie, and it's just really, really great. And it's a little rough on the inside, so I don't know what plastic this was necessarily made out of. I'm not sure if it was ABS, but that's honestly just, you know, me nitpicking and just pointing it out more than anything. This is a fantastic piece, and the face is a fantastic likeness to Zachary Levi with his big dumb smile that he had for the vast majority of the movie after becoming Shazam. And so if we go ahead and turn Billy's head around here to the alternative facial expression that Lab9 printed, we do have the bubblegum facial expression with, of course, the bubble right there that he's blowing. And I think that's really cool. I mean, it wasn't actually in the movie, I don't think, even though it was featured heavily in the marketing, but they did a great job here in incorporating it, and it does really, you know, add a nice flair to the minifigure. And so if we go ahead and remove the head, though, temporarily, you'll notice that we do, of course, have the cape, like I mentioned, the double layered cape, and I think this was produced with ABS plastic. I don't honestly know, but it's just really, really great. I mean, you look at that with the hood there kind of coming down with the double layered cape, and all of the different wrinkles that are running throughout. I mean, it just really does look like it's flowing with all the different like gold highlights that are painted around the rims and the edges of each part of this thing. This is just a really amazing piece, and I mean, honestly, if I do get the chance to make my own custom Shazam, I think I'll probably definitely just take this and throw it on along with the hairpiece onto my own custom, because these are just like the perfect definitive pieces for a custom Shazam minifigure. But while we have the cape off, we can go ahead and just real quick put the head back on. As you can see, the torso design is about as accurate as you're going to get, and what's really amazing about this minifigure is that you have the mesh printed all throughout these designs. So not only are the designs accurate as they wrap around the torso, as they wrap around all 4 sides of each leg, and as the printing runs up inside of each leg, but you have this mesh texture printed, like I said, all throughout these designs, and it's just so impressive. And I really cannot get over just how thorough they were with these designs and with the printing, and how clean everything is, and how the alignment is just so damn near perfect. I mean, this is just, like I said, the definitive Shazam minifigure, and I thought, you know, considering he was called Captain Marvel at one point, I think like several decades ago, it would have been cool to pair him up with the other 2 Captain Marvels in this video. And otherwise, guys, that is it for, I think, the leading minifigure of this video. Just definitely a huge highlight of my collection now, and I can't wait to get the chance to make my own Shazam eventually. Next up, the Miss Marvel costume for Carol Danvers here, as she sported it for several decades after, I think it was 1970-something, 7. It's still a costume that has since been largely abandoned now, especially in the MCU. This costume is really just not a thing anymore, but Lab9 did a really great job in capturing it in this minifigure. I mean, this is just about, again, as good as it's gonna get, especially with this custom plastic hairpiece. And it's just really cool to me when some of these vendors really do kind kind of, you know, change up their style a little bit. And so, you know, there's kind of a noticeable style here with how the face is designed, but also just like, I love how the hairpiece is kind of, you know, it's kind of like a freeze frame of the hair kind of like flowing. And so I think that that's really, you know, obvious here on the sides, and it's just a really, really cool piece. And it really makes posing that much cooler, and really makes, you know, taking photos of the minifigure that much cooler, because the hairpiece is kind of, you know, in motion. And so I think that was definitely a really cool choice on Lab9's part, and really tops off the minifigure. But if we go ahead and remove the custom hairpiece here to discuss the rest of what we've got going on in terms of that face design, which is pretty simple but definitely does the job, but also the rest of the torso and the legs, as you can see, for me, what I think is really cool is this gold printing for the lightning bolt. I don't know what gold they used here, but it is really amazing. You would have to see it in person to see just how well it reflects. I mean, but it is just something else, man. I really can't describe it. It's just a really cool gold. And so if we go ahead and move on, though, to just kind of discuss the rest here, we do also have the sash, which I think is one of the more impressive parts of the minifigure for sure, because the alignment mostly holds up, running from not just the torso, but then down also onto the belt piece, around the belt piece, and connecting all the way. I mean, it only really breaks up a little bit right here. And I think that is very, very impressive. But I'll go ahead and remove the torso really quick to give you an idea of where the sash kind of bleeds up onto it on the front there, on the left side, and on the back a little bit. It's, again, just very impressive. And the legs are actually not double molded boots from Lego or anything, but they're actually standard light flesh legs that they then printed the boots onto themselves, Lab9, which is, I think, is really cool. And you can kind of see how the boots slant up a little bit. These are not double molded boots from Lego, because obviously you would have also had the round kind of cut off on the back there. And you can kind of see how the printing bleeds into the flesh tone inside there. So I mean, this is just, again, a very, very impressive minifigure. The pad printing here is really well done. I mean, the arms are really well done, and the printing around those, I really just cannot stress enough you know, how great these minifigures are. And this is, again, not a sponsored video. These are just really well made. Finally, of course, Brie Larson's Captain Marvel from the MCU, our new Avenger here, pad printed with a custom helmet, which has two separate molds. By the way, this helmet is actually what got me interested in Lab9 in the first place, because at the time I was working on my own custom Captain Marvel, which I still have yet to finish, by the way, but I saw this helmet, I was like, that looks amazing, and in person it really is. I wound up going a different direction. I didn't use the helmet for my own custom, but having it here in person once I got it in March, I was just, you know, so blown away by not just, you know, the entire minifigure and the design and how detailed it is and how it was successfully printed around the entire minifigure, but this helmet having two separate pieces essentially, because you have the main helmet and then also the trans yellow mohawk that I can only imagine is a separate piece that was then glued in, because it just looks so great. And that's something you really don't see a lot of, or things like this, or feats like this for custom Lego minifigures in the community that are for sale. So this is just so cool. And underneath, of course, you can see we do have a very stylistic take on Brie Larson's likeness there, which is definitely very cool. And then also, as you can see on the aggressive facial expression, it only looks that much better. And to go ahead and put the helmet back on over that, you can kind of see that there. So that is definitely very cool. But if we go ahead and remove the helmet temporarily, we do also have a custom hairpiece. And you can see this hairpiece. I don't know that I would necessarily use it for my custom Captain Marvel, but it is included here and it does complement the minifigure well. Now, if we go ahead and remove that hairpiece now, along with this head, you do actually get two heads, and this one, this alternative facial expression, as you can see, is pretty much just kind of going the Batman route, and you're just kind of given the white band here on this separate head to go underneath the eyes so that it kind of looks a little bit better, and you don't have the eyes under there, so you kind of have both options, which I think is really great. This minifigure really is the full package. But if we just take this head off to put the classic one back on for the rest of the segment, so we can talk about the rest of the printing here. Again, like I said, the printing is just so impressive as you go around the entire minifigure here. I do think the dark red is maybe a little too dark, and maybe a brighter red would have been a little bit better, kind of closely matching the helmet a little more. But either way, like I said, the design is really impressive. I mean, this is something that even I really couldn't paint on my own Captain Marvel. This is just incredibly detailed and incredibly accurate and incredibly well done and super well printed on every surface of the minifigure here, on the front of the torso, extending down onto the belt, around all four sides of the minifigure's legs. I mean, the arms, obviously you really can't do a lot of wraparound arm printing, so you don't really see that present here, but the minifigure really doesn't need it. And then that design work only continues onto the back of the torso, and again, the printing just making its way around the minifigure here, and as seamlessly as it does is just so cool to see. And the helmet with its, you know, trans yellow mohawk that's inserted into the top is just really great. I mean, this is definitely one of the best custom Captain Marvel minifigures this community will ever see, and so I'm definitely glad that I got the chance to review not only this, but also, of course, Shazam and Miss Marvel there. So that's going to do it for this segment. Got a couple more things to show you before we wrap up, but yeah. Now, like I said earlier on in the video, these are collector's items, and so you get some pretty nice packaging to go with them. In the case of Shazam and Miss Marvel, we have these nice little like cardboard cutouts that are kind of, you know, holding these cases in place, and it's a little bit snug, not gonna lie, but that's okay. You can see we do have the Lab9 logo printed on the front. We also have their URL on the back of each of these, and inside these cases, we do have these really nice stands. Now, these stands, I don't actually know if they're legit made from metal or anything, but they're certainly pretty hard, and they look very metallic, obviously, and so these are really cool with the Lab9 logo and URL printed on the front of that as well, along with the Shazam logo on the back. This one was 96 out of the 120 that were made, so that is very cool. Always love that little bit of information included with collector's items like these, and so we can stand him up on that. And now to check out Miss Marvel's stand, we'll go ahead and take this piece of cardboard off, and then we can open up the case again, and inside we have pretty much the same thing, but for Miss Marvel, and we've got her logo printed on the back this time, and she was actually 98 out of the 120 that were made of this minifigure. And so I haven't actually pulled these out of like the little piece of plastic that they're slipped into. I'm just kind of leaving them in there for now because I won't be actually using them to display with at the moment. But Captain Marvel had a bit more like a simplistic packaging, just a standard little plastic case here, but inside, if we can go ahead and open it, you can see we have a couple little Ziplocs, and these were basically just, this one was for the minifigure, and then we have this little second one that was for the additional accessories that I just showed you. And then inside, this one I don't really think is the exact same. It's certainly not like a metallic stand like the other two, and this one just kind of has a black background with the you know, turquoise Lab9 logo printed on the front of that, but still very nice nonetheless. And I certainly don't think it's metal either, because I mean, it's pretty bendy, unlike the other two here. And then we do also have the Captain Marvel logo printed on the back of this one, and she was 123 out of the 200 that were made. So hell yeah, that is gonna do it, guys, for the Lab9 review. And I totally didn't put the minifigure on top of that stand. We'll just go ahead and do that really quick, even though it's still in the plastic case. There we go. That is gonna do it, guys, for this video. Thank you so much for watching so far, and with all that said, we're gonna go ahead and finally wrap this up.
Once I discover the anti-life of
Hey guys, I'm here. Sorry I'm late. Okay, Shazam! Billy? Yeah. Oh my god, what the heck? Hurry up, Batson, we're gonna get recast. Okay, yeah, sorry, this is so weird. Shazam! Is it fixed? And they're gone. I guess it's just us now. Hey, is that a personal attack? Alright guys, and there you go. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for sticking around for the whole thing. I really do appreciate it. But if you did enjoy this review, maybe found it informative, or if I did help you in deciding as to whether or not you do plan on picking up some of these custom LEGO minifigures from Lab9, definitely be sure to let me know by dropping this video a comment below, as I would love to hear from you. Otherwise, guys, that is going to do it. I'm going to get back to work on the Avengers Endgame custom minifigures right now. I'm making some headway on Captain America in his new scale suit to hopefully be the next making of video, as I slowly work toward the first showcase of many, because I'll be doing them in 2s and 3s over the course of the rest of the summer and fall. So I really hope you'll join me for all of that. The progress has already been going up over on my Patreon, so you can definitely check that out if you'd like to consider supporting the channel. Otherwise, the preview photos have already started to go up over on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all those places. And all those places, like the Iron Man Mark 85, which you probably already saw at this point. Otherwise, guys, yeah, that's it. And thank you again to Lab9 for helping me be able to purchase these minifigures, because I couldn't get them in time. And that will do it. All right, take care. Bye-bye. Hey guys, how's it going? So today we're actually going to be Captain Marvel Shazam minifigure review. This time covering 3 pad... Hey guys, how's it going? So today we're actually going to be doing... Finally though, Captain Marvel, Brie Larson's... and Miss Marvel, all of which are Hey guys, how's it going? So today... As either way, it is just fantastic. Okay, we're not on manual focus. Great, good stuff. Cool. Help you in deciding as to whether...